is now in session.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pennsylvania College Basketball Court, or the PCB for short. This is Season 2, Episode 36 of this wonderful podcast here on Instagram Live. Today is March 7th, 2025. I'm never going to live this down, aren't I? Anyways, I'm your host, the Honorable Judge Noah, reporting live from Slip Rock, Pennsylvania. Now, you may be wondering why I'm wearing a hockey jersey. I will explain here in just a moment. We're going to be talking about why I'm wearing my good old Sidney Crosby Rimouski jersey from when I bought it on eBay for only good old $65. Love that. Since some of those jerseys are in like the $1,300 range, especially the ones that are signed. But anyways, that's besides the point. We'll talk about the NHL here in just a second. But besides the point, on today's episode, once we are done talking about the NHL, we're going to be doing a recap of the 4 games that occurred on Wednesday in the quarterfinals of the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. And then there was one game that was officially completed earlier today in the Mountain East Conference men's basketball tournament between Point Park and Fairmont State that just finished earlier. The second game between Glenville State and Charleston, that game is still live as of right now. But if that game becomes official, I will be doing the recap of that game as well. So anyways, yes, today is Christmas Day for NHL hockey fans like myself. It is NHL trade deadline day, as the trade deadline had just ended about 45 minutes ago at 3 p.m. Eastern. I know technically right now it's 3:42 at this current time, but still around 45 minutes ago, now 43 minutes ago, the NHL trade deadline has officially ended. And that means we have some breaking freaking news. That's what that means. Yes, this is my favorite day of the year in terms of hockey, or one of my favorite days in the entire year. It is essentially Christmas Day for hockey fans, as the NHL trade deadline was today. A lot of big superstars being moved, so I'll try to get through as many of them as possible. There was a lot, let's just say that. So starting with last night, literally as I'm about to fall asleep at like 12:05 a.m., we got, let's see, I guess we can, wasn't really any major trades. Oh yeah, I guess Pittsburgh. So the Penguins, of course, were sellers. No surprise there. Yesterday, traded Michael Bunting to Nashville for a fourth round pick, which was a 2026 fourth round pick. The Penguins ended up getting Tommy Novak and Luke Shen. And then they got a 2028 fifth-round pick from San Jose for Vincent Desharnais, who only played like 10 games for us. The big major trade that occurred yesterday was Oliver Bjorkstrand and the return of Yanni Gourde to Tampa Bay, along with a 2026 fifth-round pick. In exchange, Seattle gets Michael Eyssimont, 2025 second, and 2 first-round picks in 2026 and 2027. Seth Jones, that was already a couple days ago, so we're not doing that trade. Not a big trade. Riley Smith returns to Vegas. In exchange, the Rangers get Brendan Brisson and a 2025 third-round pick. Third-round pick belongs to the San Jose Sharks, and New York is retaining 50% of Riley Smith's salary. Carter Soucy to the New York Rangers for in exchange, Vancouver gets a 2025 third-round pick. Now let's talk about at 12:02 a.m. this morning, right as I'm about to fall asleep, the Colorado Avalanche make what was a bundle of blockbuster trades that occurred today. Brock Nelson, after almost 13 years on Long Island, gets traded to the Colorado Avalanche along with William Dufour. In exchange, the Islanders get Oliver Kylington, Callum Ritchie, 2026 first-round pick, and a conditional 2028 third-round pick. Oliver Kylington, about half hour later, gets immediately flipped to Anaheim for future considerations. This morning, around 2:06 a.m., the Edmonton Oilers acquired Jake Wallman from the San Jose Sharks. In exchange, the Sharks are getting Carl Berglund and a 2026 conditional first-round pick. Another big trade occurred between Pittsburgh. They get another 2025 second-round pick. In exchange, Washington gets Anthony Beauvillier. First major trade of the afternoon involved Ottawa and Buffalo. The Senators get former 7th overall pick from 2019 in Dylan Cousins, along with Dennis Gilbert and a 2026 second-round pick. Buffalo gets centerman Josh Norris and defenseman Jacob Bernard-Docker. Immediately yesterday, after the Penguins acquired Luke Schenn, they ended up flipping him to Winnipeg for 2 picks, a 2026 second and a 2027 third. Brayden Tanev returns to Winnipeg. In exchange, Seattle gets a 2027 second-round pick. Scott Laughton, one of the bigger names of the trade deadline from Philadelphia, gets traded to Toronto along with a 4th and 6th round pick. In exchange, Philadelphia gets Nikita Gerbigin and a conditional 2027 first-round pick. Philadelphia retains 50% of Laughton's salary, and the 2027 first-round pick traded from Toronto is top 10 protected. The biggest name on the list, Mikko Rantanen, who had just been traded to Carolina because Colorado was unwilling to sign him to an extension. Also agrees to not sign an extension in Colorado or Carolina. He is flipped back to the Central Division to the Dallas Stars. Unfortunately, my buddy Joe Kanoko was not too pleased about that because Colorado and Dallas are big rivals in the Central, and they played in the second round last year, and I believe Dallas won in 7 games. Dallas won the series, but they won in 7 games. In exchange, they get a very young, promising prospect and a very young forward in Logan Stankoven and 2 first-round picks. So let's see. Luke Kunin. Another big trade. Boston and Colorado again. Boston gets Casey Middlestat, William Zellers, and a 2025 second-round pick. Colorado gets centerman Charlie Coyle and a 2026 fifth-round pick. So Coyle moving back to the Central Division. He originally was a part of the Minnesota Wild. Joey Veleno, who was a first-round pick all the way back in 2017 or 19, somewhere around that time. He gets traded to Chicago. In exchange, the Red Wings get Craig Smith and Peter Mrazek. The last trade involving Pittsburgh and involves Pittsburgh and New Jersey. The Penguins got a 3rd-round pick in exchange for centerman Cody Glass. This was a huge surprise. We're going to be talking about this trade. Brad Marchand, the former captain of the Boston Bruins, has been dealt to the Florida Panthers. Now, the trade is still, as of right now, still undergoing the evaluation of what is going to be happening in terms of this trade. But mind you, the Florida Panthers are getting Brad Marchand, so that's going to be really interesting, especially for a guy who has known nothing but the Bruins his entire career. Let's see, Shea Weber, even though he hasn't played in almost 4 years now, his contract was traded to Utah. In exchange, Chicago gets a 2026 6th-round pick. And that's pretty much it in terms of the trades. I mean, I guess there's a minor trade. Pittsburgh got Connor Timmins and Connor DeWar for, I'm guessing, nothing. But we'll wait and see. I don't know if there's any updates as of right now. I mean, we still have, late trades that occur during this time. So, let's see. Anything else at this time? Not yet. Okay. So that's pretty much it for the NHL trade deadline. So a lot of deals done today, which was not a surprise. So if there's any more trades, I'll talk about them at some point by the end of this episode. But anyways, let's talk about basketball now, because that's really what I wanted to talk about. So the trade deadline is done, pretty much set in stone, unless there's some big major trade occurring. We'll get to that. Let's talk about the Atlantic Region rankings. This officially came out on Wednesday, literally an hour after I filmed on Wednesday. So let's talk about it. So the number 1 seed is West Liberty. They're 20, who at this time were 25-3. Gannon was 22-6, holding the number 2 spot. Virginia State, they're already safe. Automatic bid into the Atlantic Region Tournament. They are the 3 seed right now at 20-8. Fayetteville State, they were 21-8. Fayetteville State, I don't really know. Fayetteville State, I would think is safe, but I'm not 100% sure. We will find out. And right now, I actually, believe it or not, on this list, I have 10 teams listed as teams that could miss the playoff, miss the Atlantic Region. That's the beauty of college basketball, ain't I right? The 5 seed, Westchester, they are also a borderline team right now. Fairmont State, I think, is safe. I was going to, before I filmed this, I said if Fairmont State would lose to Point Park, Fairmont State is out. Fairmont State ended up winning by 13, which we'll talk about here later. Fairmont State, I think, is safe, being in the semifinals of the Mountain East Conference Tournament. East Stroudsburg 7, I think they're out. East Stroudsburg had to win on Wednesday to move on. I think they're out. Bluefield State, I think they're out. California, they're borderline. Charleston, they're borderline right now. Teams I have on this list, Westchester is a question mark. Charleston's a question mark, barring the outcome of this game. Actually, they're losing right now. So if they lose, I think Charleston's out. If Charleston has to make the finals to get it, to have a deep run, I think that if Charleston loses to Glenville State, they're out. Charleston, they have to make if they make the semifinals, I say like 90%, like 75 to 80% chance. If they make the finals, I think they're in. But if they lose in the first round to Glenville State, they're out. California and Shepherd, I think the winner of this game is going to the Atlantic Region Tournament, and the loser is out. And their season's over, no Atlantic Region. Bluefield State, I said it, I think they're out. East Stroudsburg's out. Millersville, only if they beat Gannon. If Millersville makes the finals, they have a shot. Concord, they have to make the finals of the Mountain East, so they would have to beat West Liberty. That's easier said than done. Fairmont State, I said if they win, I think they're safe. If they lose to Point Park, they're out. So I think Fairmont State's safe. Concord, I don't see them making it to the finals of the Mountain East Conference Tournament. I think Concord is not going to make it. Charleston is close, but if they lose like they are right now to Glenville State, I think they're done. Simple as that. So we'll have to wait and see with that. But anyways, I forgot to mention the CIAA men's basketball all superlative teams, the major awards awarded to them. And then we actually have the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference's major awards to discuss as well. Let's see, were officially announced yesterday. So this was from a while ago. For the CIAA men's all-conference teams and superlatives. So the men's rookie of the year was Bobby Gardner of Virginia Union. Can you lay down, please? Bobby Gardner of Virginia Union. The men's defensive player of the year was Derico Williams of Elizabeth City State. The CIAA men's basketball player of the year was Jordan Hins of Bluefield State. The Robert L. Bobby Vaughn CIAA men's coach of the year was Luke Delosio of Fayetteville State. For the CIAA men's basketball the region team. Let's see. So all rookie team. Bobby Gardner of Virginia Union. Orlando Hudson of Johnson C. Smith. Sterling Vaughn of Elizabeth City State. Moshawn Moore Bryant of Winston-Salem State. And Jameer Brewer of Lincoln, Pennsylvania. Men's front court. Caleb Simmons of Fayetteville State. Derico Williams of Elizabeth City State. Amari Wimbush of Bowie State. Ashton Sherrill of Johnson C. Smith. Jordan Whitehead III from Claflin. Baker Cleveland from Lincoln, Pennsylvania. And Larry Howe of Bluefield State. Men's backcourt. Jordan Hins of Bluefield State. Tyrell Fletcher of Fayetteville State. Jacob Cooper, who was the tournament MVP and the championship game MVP, was announced as part of the backcourt. My apologies. My dogs are being very hostile today. So, let's see. Jacob Cooper of Virginia State. Xavier Tubbs Matthews of Elizabeth City State, and Reggie Hudson of Lincoln, Pennsylvania. So, congratulations to all of the members of the CIAA All-Conference teams and the superlatives in terms of that. Now let's talk about the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference's award winners. So let's move on now. I'm doing this in the IUPs from an IUP standpoint. IUP men's basketball's freshman Kamani Marrero was named the 2025 Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference's Western Division's Freshman of the Year. Thank God, because he deserved it over Pace Prosser. I can tell you that for a fact. Along with he also received second team All PSAC honors. Christian Moore was also named as a second team member of the All PSAC Western selection, which the league announced yesterday. Don Whitehead Jr. won PSAC West Athlete of the Year. I could have told you that earlier. I could have told you that in July. He was going to be one of the candidates. Sanker Everin was awarded Defensive Player of the Year. And Edinburgh's Justin Jennings was named PSAC West Coach of the Year. Marrero is now the 9th player in program history to receive PSAC West Freshman of the Year honors. The last player from IUP to win this prestigious accolade was a guy who is currently on the top team in the CAA and holds the number 1 seed heading into next week's CAA men's basketball tournament in Washington, D.C. My good old man, Tommy Wassaliman, in 2022. He won this award 3 years ago. The other freshman/rookie of the year award winners were the beloved Ethan Porterfield in 2020, my man Dante Lombardi in 2016, Julian Saunders in 2009, IUP's greatest player of all time in Darrell Webb in 2008, Gerald Brooks in 2006, Eddie Peterson in 2003, and Jason Bullock in 1993. His playmaking abilities elevated his team around him, and his overall high production made him extremely valuable to Lombardi's team this year, being one of only 2 players to land a spot on the starting lineup for all 30 games this season. He ranked 4th across the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference in assists, recording 135 throughout the season, averaging 4.5 per game. He led the team in assists 20 out of 30 games this season. His efficient scoring landed him inside the top 25 in points per game at 15.1, which allowed him to lead his team in scoring 9 times. 7 of those times, he broke 20 points. Recently, Marrero had a 25-point performance against Slippery Rock to help his team advance to the quarterfinals. Both Marrero and Moore are ranked in the top 25 across the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference in steals, with 13th with 42 by Marrero, and Moore had 43, which was 10th in the conference. Now for Christian Moore. The transfer from New Hampshire had made an immediate impact on the offensive side of the ball for Lombardi's team. Moore's scoring ability made him a suitable candidate for second-team honors. He was ranked 10th in the PSAC in scoring, averaging 16.8 points per game. He led his team in scoring 15 times, and 12 of those were above 20 points. His highest scoring game of the season came against Tiffin, which was all the way back in the second week of I think it was like their 3rd or 4th matchup of the season in November, where he scored 26 points. On 4 occasions, Moore made 9 field goals, one of those occasions making 7 made 3-pointers against Ashland on November 17th. He also ranked in the top 25 across the PSAC in field goal percentage, above 40%. Moore was also engraved his name into the program history marks in three-pointers made in a single season with 80, which put him 13th all-time in a single season. IUP concluded their 2024-25 season going 14-16 overall, 8-12 in the conference, with a trip to the PSAC quarterfinals. So the PSAC West men's basketball's division, all-conference, and major awards. Athlete of the Year, Don Whitehead Jr. of California. So it's pretty cool for a kid from a district that in a region that we played Hickory in pretty much every sport here for Slippery Rock. Basketball, baseball, football. I've played Hickory a handful of times in both sports. We've always had a good rivalry against Hickory. But congratulations to him on winning that award. I had a feeling he was going to win it. He was probably going to be one of the early. I had him as one of my early picks to win it. No surprise there. I'm guessing he may go D1. We'll see that. Could he join up? But now it's the second straight year that a California Vulcan wins PSAC West Athlete of the Year. KJ McClurg won it last season for the Vulcans. Defensive Player of the Year, Senker Everin of Edinboro. Really, it came down to two players. Him, Senker Everin, and Tasman Goodrick of Gannon. I mean, you couldn't have gone wrong with one or the other. Freshman of the Year, as I said, Kamani Marrero. He deserved to win this award over Pace Prosser. Pace Prosser, at times, had the honor of Freshman of the Year until Marrero, in the middle of February, stole it from him. So congrats to him. Coach of the Year was Justin Jennings from Edinboro. Edinboro, I didn't think they were going to be that good this year, and then they finished third in the PSAC West, although they didn't make it out of the first round. But still, they had their best season in 7 years, making the PSAC men's basketball tournament for the first time since 2018. So we'll have to wait and see how Edinboro is going to do next year, because they're going to be losing a lot of talent. Steve Kelly, Dante Wilcaw, Michael Dunn, Ryan Ladkovic, all are gone. The Western Division's first team all selections. We have Senker Everin from Edinboro, Jermo Goings from Slippery Rock, who was a second-team All-PSAC West member last season, Tasman Goodrick of Gannon, Cam Kearney of Clarion, who was a second-team All-PSAC West member last season, Cam Polak of California, Ernest Shelton of Gannon, and, of course, Donald Whitehead Jr. from California. The Western Division's second team. Kendrick Curtis of Seton Hill, Steve Kelly of Edinboro, Ryan Bice from Seton Hill, who was a second-team honor last season, Kamani Marrero and Christian Moore from IUP, Pace Prosser from Gannon, and Ryan Smith from Pitt Johnstown. It's kind of unfortunate. I was really hoping Ike Cursor would have gotten selected. I feel like he had a even better year than he did last season, and he still didn't get picked. So that was the West. Let's move to the East. The Eastern Division's all-conference and major award winners. For the Athlete of the Year of the PSAC East, it was Drew Stover of Millersville. I pretty much knew that was going to be an obvious pick. I really couldn't think of anyone else other than Jalen Bryant and maybe Lakeem McKaylee. Or the two players from Westchester, Devontae Dennis and Elijah Allen. But it was pretty much obvious Drew Stover was going to win this award. The Defensive Player of the Year went to Cam Young of East Stroudsburg. The Freshman of the Year was Evan Morton from East Stroudsburg. And the Coach of the Year was Damian Blair of Westchester. First team, Eastern Division's first team honors. There were 7 players on this list. Pretty sure. Let's see. 4. Kaylee makes 5. Actually, 8 players. So we had 8 players make the selection. That was because there was a tiebreaker between 2 players. So, first team selections were Siraj Ali from Millersville. He was a second team honors player last year from Mansfield. Elijah Allen, who was a first team honors who made first team honors last year from Westchester. Devontae Dennis from Westchester. Lakeem McKaylee from East Stroudsburg had 2 first team all PSAC East selections and a second team honor as well. Chase Parr from Shepherd, Drew Stover from Millersville, obviously. He also was a second-team All-PSAC member last season, and Cam Young of East Stroudsburg. And the Eastern Division's second team, Marcus Banks from Shepherd, Matt Benkel from Bloomsburg, Jalen Bryan from Kutztown, who was a second-team All-PSAC East honors, Isaiah Stewart from Lock Haven, Josh Walker from Westchester, and Eli Washington from Lock Haven. And that, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to all the players who were selected for the major awards and for all reaching the honors of first and second team honor selections from both the East and the West. All right, with that being said, let's get to the recaps of the first round match of the quarterfinal matchups from Wednesday. We'll go to the East first. And I will say there were 2 upsets. The top 2 seeds both lost in the East. on Wednesday. So we start off with the top seed from the East, Westchester, hosting Millersville at the Hollinger Fieldhouse. In the first half, Westchester outscored Millersville 35-32. In the second half, Millersville outscored Westchester 53-36, with Millersville advancing to the PSAC semifinals for the second year in a row and the third time in 4 seasons, with Millersville winning 85-71. Millersville going into tomorrow's matchup is 19-11 on the season. Westchester having to wait to see if they make the tournament, the Atlantic Region tournament, on the selection show coming up on Sunday. They finished at 23-6. The top scorer for Millersville was Jamie Ested, who in 39 minutes was 8 of 12 from the floor, 3 of 4 from three-point range, 9 of 10 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal for 28 points. Aiden Gare, who played all 40 minutes, was 6 of 14 from the floor, 5 of 10 from three-point range, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 2 assists for 18 points. Siraj Ali, first-team All-PSAC honoree, in 38 minutes was 3 of 6 from the floor and 8 of 14 from the free throw line, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 block for 14 points. Drew Stover, PSAC East Athlete of the Year and first-team honors. In 34 minutes was 5 of 12 from the floor and 2 of 4 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal for 12 points. In the first half, Millersville shot 44.8% from the floor, 16.7% from three-point range, 62.5% from the free throw line. In the second half, they shot 60% from the floor, 88.9% from three-point range, and 68.2% from the free throw line. Overall, the Marauders of Millersville shot 28 of 54 from the floor at 51.9%, 9 of 15 from three-point range at 60%, and 20 of 30 from the free throw line at 66.7%, with 1 technical foul being assessed to Jamie Ested. For Westchester, their top scorer was Dylan Blair, who in 31 minutes was 5 of 13 from the floor, 3 of 7 from three-point range, and 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal for 16 points. Elijah Allen and Joshua Walker both recorded 12 points. Allen, who's now a 2-time first-team All-PSAC East selection, in 29 minutes was 3 of 15 from the floor, 0 of 7 from three-point range, and 6 of 8 from the free throw line. 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals were 12 points. Joshua Walker, who is a second-team All-PSAC East selection this season, in 24 minutes was 5 of 8 from the floor and 2 of 4 from the free throw line. 5 rebounds and 2 blocks for 12 points. In the first half, Westchester shot 34.4% from the floor, 18.2% from three-point range, 84.6% from the free throw line. In the second half, they shot 37.5% from the floor, 33.3% from three-point range, and 60% from the free throw line. Overall, the Golden Rams of Westchester shot 23 of 64 from the floor at 35.9%, 5 of 20 from three-point range at 25%, and 20 of 28 from the free throw line at 71.4%, with 1 technical foul being assessed to Elijah Allen. The second of 2 games from the East takes us all the way up to the northeast part of the state at the Kohler Fieldhouse in East Stroudsburg. Because of Westchester losing their quarterfinals matchup, the winner of this game would get hosting rights for the PSAC semifinals and championship game, which is the semifinals are tomorrow and the championship game is Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. So in the first half, Shepherd outscored East Stroudsburg 40-36. In the second half, Shepherd outscored East Stroudsburg 39-31. Shepherd winning 79-76 or 67. 79-67. Shepherd improves to 20-10 on the season. East Stroudsburg drops to 21-8, most likely missing the Atlantic Region tournament yet again. The Shepherd Rams get to host the semifinals and championship game, meaning that this tournament moves to West Virginia. So we're not even playing we're playing the PSAC Conference Tournament Championship game in a different state for the first time in PSAC history. Anyways, for the top scorer for Shepherd was first-team All-PSAC East selection in Chase Parr, who in 28 minutes was 8 of 12 from the floor, 0 of 2 from three-point range, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, recorded a double-double with 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks, and 1 steal for 21 points. Carson Poffenberger in 38 minutes was 7 of 10 from the floor, 2 of 4 from three-point range, and 3 of 4 from the free throw line. 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block for 19 points. Second team all PSAC East selection and Marcus Banks had on 36 minutes was 6 of 12 from the floor, 2 of 4 from three-point range, and 4 of 5 from the free throw line. 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, and 3 steals for 18 points. In the first half, Shepherd shot 51.6% from the floor, 31.3% from three-point range, and 60% from the free throw line. In the second half, they shot 44.4% from the floor, 18.2% from three-point range, and 81.3% from the free throw line. Overall, the Rams of Shepherd shot 28 of 58 from the floor at 43.3%, 7 of 27 from three-point range at 25.9%, and 16 of 21 from the free throw line at 76.2%. I don't remember if I just said a second ago if I said 43.3 or 48.3, but it was 48.3 for Shepherd. For East Stroudsburg, their top scorer was a now 3-time first-team All-PSAC selection and second-team honors, was Lakeem McKaylee in what might be his last game after his 6-year career at East Stroudsburg. In 21 minutes was 8 of 18 from the floor, 4 of 7 from three-point range, 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, and 2 steals for 24 points. Freshman of the year in the PSAC East, Evan Morton, in 30 minutes was 6 of 20 from the floor, 2 of 5 from three-point range, and 3 of 4 from the free throw line. 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 2 steals for 17 points. Ethan Millirons in 28 minutes was 3 of 5 from the floor, 2 of 3 from three-point range, and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. 1 rebound and 2 assists for 10 points. In the first half, East Stroudsburg shot 42.4% from the floor, 70% from three-point range, and 50% from the free throw line. In the second half, they shot 27% from the floor, 21.4% from three-point range, and 88.9% from the free throw line. Overall, the Warriors of East Stroudsburg shot 24 of 70 from the floor at 34.3%, 10 of 24 from three-point range at 41.7%, and 9 of 11 from the free throw line at 81.8%, with 2 technical fouls being set to East Stroudsburg, 1 to Cam Young and 1 to Lakeem McKaylee. Going to the West. So let's get the I don't really want to call it crappy game, but it was, I feel like they were playing with house money, but unfortunately they just ran out of gas. I mean, at least they won on Monday against Slippery Rock. That's all I can say. Let's talk about the tire fire that was IUP at Gannon. The first half, actually, things looked really good. Gannon outscored IUP 40-31, and then the second half was what we call a complete, oh crap, we're screwed because we have no talent, not as much talent as we thought we had. As Gannon completely destroyed IUP in the second half, 48-27. Gannon cruised to a 30-point win over IUP, so yay. It feels like deja vu again since IUP lost to Gannon in the quarterfinals yet again for the second straight year. In Erie, not in the month. Gannon winning 88-58. Gannon is 23-6 heading into their matchup tomorrow against Millersville, which we'll talk about here shortly. IUP finished the season 14-16. So their first losing season, officially their first losing season since 2008 or 2007, somewhere around that range. The top scorer for IUP was the freshman of the year in Kamani Marrero in 31 minutes. He was 3 of 13 from the floor, 1 of 6 from three-point range, and 5 of 8 from the free throw line. 2 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1 steal for 12 points. And Ian Herring, in 28 minutes off the bench, was 3 of 10 from the floor, 2 of 4 from three-point range, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. His second game went a lot better than his first one. He recorded a double-double for IUP with 11 rebounds and 2 steals for 10 points. Now the remaining players. Believe me, there is a lot. Alfonso Pickens Jr. in 24 minutes off the bench. He was 4 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 3 from three-point range, 0 of 1 from the free throw line. 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal for 9 points. Demir Brooks in 22 minutes was 3 of 5 from the floor, 2 of 4 from three-point range. He had 9 rebounds, 1 assist, and 3 blocks for 8 points. Tyler Grove finished his first playoffs 1 of 12 from the floor. and 0 of 5 from three-point range. But in this game, in 26 minutes, he was 1 of 5 from the floor, 0 of 2 from three-point range, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds for 6 points. Christian Moore was ice cold in this game, although he did make the second-team PSAC honors. In 24 minutes, was 2 of 11 from the floor, 2 of 8 from three-point range, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal for 6 points. And Sarp Fortune in 26 minutes was 1 of 3 from the floor, 0 of 2 from three-point range, 0 of 1 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, and 1 block and 1 steal for 2 points. Remaining bench players. Cal McNamara in 5 minutes was 1 of 1 from the floor and 1 of 4 from the free throw line. 1 rebound and 1 steal for 3 points in his last game with the Crimson Hawks in his collegiate career. Luke Triggs in 13 minutes was 1 of 4 from the floor, 0 of 2 from three-point range, 0 of 2 from the free throw line. Going 2 of 7 overall from the free throw line for a guy that was shooting 80% from the free throw line this season. 0 rebounds, 0 assists for 2 points. 0 blocks, 0 steals, but he did have 2 points. And then Sebastian Campbell finally got in at the best time. He played 1 minute and was 0 of 1 from the floor and 0 of 1 from three-point range. It had 0 points. In the first half, IEP shot 31.3% from the floor, 25% from three-point range, and 70% from the free throw line. In the second half, they shot 31% from the floor, 16.7% from three-point range, 43.8% from the free throw line. Overall, the Crimson Hawks of IEP shot 19 of 61 from the floor at 31.1%, 6 of 28 from three-point range at 21.4%, and an abysmal 14 of 26 from the free throw line at 53.8%. This game was doomed from the start, let's just say that. For Gannon, their top scorer was the first-team All-PSAC West honor in Tasman Goodrick, who recorded a double-double in 25 minutes, going 8 of 13 from the floor and 3 of 6 from the free throw line. Recorded 12 rebounds and 1 block for 19 points. Another first-team All-PSAC West selection, Ernest Shelton, in 24 minutes was 5 of 8 from the floor, 3 of 6 from three-point range, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 1 block, and 2 steals for 17 points. Lane Sarver, in 20 minutes off the bench, was 5 of 9 from the floor, 1 of 4 from three-point range, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal for 15 points. And Pace Proser, second-team All-PSAC West selection, in 26 minutes was 4 of 7 from the floor, 3 of 5 from three-point range, 1 of 1 from the free throw line. 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals for 12 points. Woo! Got off early. All right, in the first half, Gannon shot 43.8% from the floor, 36.4% from three-point range, and 66.7% from the free throw line. In the second half, they shot 50% from the floor, 28.6% from three-point range, 83.3% from the free throw line. Overall, the Golden Knights of Gannon shot 31 of 66 from the floor at 47%, 8 of 25 from three-point range at 32%, and 18 of 24 from the free throw line at 75%. So another disappointing year for the postseason for IEP, but there is a lot of good things coming out of IEP for next season. Moreira looks like a very promising piece of the core. Moore, if he stays, he and Moore are probably going to be like 2 of the best players in the PSAC next season. Dallas Dillard's going to return next season. Pretty much everyone, as I've heard right now, according to my man Dante Lombardi and Brandon buddies Lombardi and Pierce, have stated that as of right now, not a single player has announced that they have entered the transfer portal. Although I have my doubts on that one, especially since I think a key candidate I think is going to leave is Anthony Watson, but we'll have to wait and see. I think he is the highest bet to enter the portal. I think Demir Brooks is going to stay. I really do. I feel like that's home for him. But really, not that many departures this season. I mean, you got Cal McNamara, Sebo, and maybe Anthony Watson. So this is a big offseason coming up for IUP in terms of their progress, although the rebuild looks very promising, to say the least. Hopefully we get Bautista Rodriguez back in the lineup next season. I mean, again, and then Denzel Cabasele is going to be departing as well for IUP. So we have 3 guys that are definitely leaving, and potentially a 4th member as well, but we'll have to wait and see when the transfer portal hits. There has been 3 known players from entering the transfer portal from the PSAC. Donovan Hill, which was last Friday. Trying to think of the big one. Keith Pallick III, which was on Monday from California. He entered the portal as a grad transfer. And then Kent Oileiwer from Bloomsburg had just announced he also has entered the transfer portal. So that's as of right now, only those remaining players have entered the transfer portal. And that we actually are going to get to the Glenville State Charleston game here in a minute. Let me fill this out real fast. Glenville. And mind you, IUP lost to Glenville State earlier this year by 2 freaking points. And they are in the Final Four of the Mountain East Conference Tournament. So, yeah, who would have thought of that? So congrats to the Pioneers for making it that far. And they're another team that's going to be a borderline team. Okay, last game from the quarterfinals for the PSAC brings us to Seton Hill in California. Battle between 2 schools that are about 34 miles apart from one another. In the first half, California outscored Seton Hill 43-33. In the second half, California outscored Seton Hill 44-42. The Vulcans advanced to the conference semifinals for the second straight year, along with Gannon for the second straight year. And then Shepherd, this is their first time making the PSAC semifinals as being a part of the PSAC. But Seton Hill had a lot to be thankful for. A terrific season by Seton Hill standards, 16-14, made it to the quarterfinals for the first time, I think, maybe ever. I don't remember Seton Hill making it to the quarterfinals of the PSAC tournament. But California is now 18-11 on the season. So let's talk about this game. The top scorer for Seton Hill was Eder Ortiz, who in 32 minutes, he was 4 of 12 from the floor, 3 of 8 from three-point range, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 9 rebounds, and 1 block for 16 points. Gabe Gillespie in 25 minutes, he was 6 of 10 from the floor and 2 of 4 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 block for 14 points. Gage Lattimore and Kendrick Curtis both recorded 12 points. Curtis as a starter in 34 minutes, also a second-team All-PSAC West honor selection. In 34 minutes, he was 3 of 7 from the floor, 0 of 1 from three-point range, 6 of 10 from the free throw line, 9 rebounds, 3 assists for 12 points. Lattimore in 22 minutes off the bench and was 3 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 5 from three-point range, 5 of 5 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds and 1 steal for 12 points. Ryan Mice in his last game, even though he was now a 2-time member of the PSAC West second-team selection honoree. In 37 minutes, he was 4 of 12 from the floor and 1 of 6 from three-point range, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal for 9 points. In the first half, Seton Hill shot 44.8% from the floor, 18.2% from three-point range, 83.3% from the free throw line. In the second half, they shot 40.7% from the floor, 35.7% from three-point range, and 71.4% from the free throw line. Overall, the Griffins of Seton Hill shot 24 of 56 from the floor at 42.9%, 7 of 25 from three-point range at 28%, and 20 of 27 from the free throw line at 74.1%. For California, their top scorer was Jordan Buchanan. They had 4 players play all 40 minutes for the Vulcans in their starting lineup. Buchanan in 40 minutes, he was 8 of 11 from the floor, 6 of 9 from three-point range, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Recorded a double-double with 10 rebounds and a total of 27 points. The PSAC West Athlete of the Year, Donald Whitehead Jr., and first-team All-PSAC honor selection. He played all 40 minutes. He was 5 of 18 from the floor, 3 of 7 from three-point range, 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, and 1 steal for 17 points. Dalman Alexander, who also played all 40 minutes, was 6 of 12 from the floor and 4 of 6 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 block for 16 points. And Caden Hanna, who was the only player from the Vulcans who did not play all 40 minutes, played 19 minutes and was 4 of 9 from the floor, 2 of 3 from three-point range, 0 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 1 block, and 1 steal for 10 points. And Cam Polak, who played all 40 minutes, he was 2 of 11 from the floor, 1 of 6 from three-point range, 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals for 9 points. In the first half, California shot 44.1% from the floor, 57.1% from three-point range, and 62.5% from the free throw line. In the second half, they shot 40.6% from the floor, 38.5% from three-point range, and 72.2% from the free throw line. Overall, the Vulcans of Penn West, California shot 28 of 66 from the floor at 42.4%, 13 of 27 from three-point range, 48.1%, and 18 of 26 from the free throw line at 69.2%. Which leads us to our Final Four in the PSAC men's basketball tournament for this season. The 1 o'clock game tomorrow is the 4th seed in Millersville, who is 19-11, taking on the top seed from the West in Gannon, who is 23-6. That'll be an interesting game to discuss. I'm going to do my picks and predictions once we're done with the two Mountain East Conference games from now. And then the 3:30 game, the 3 seed in the East, the host of this game, they're listed as the home team, Shepherd, taking on the 2 seed in the West in California, who is 18-11. And then Shepherd is 20-10. So that'll be interesting to see where we go from there in terms of the okay, let's see. Hold on. Hopefully they file this up. So let's talk about the Mountain East Conference. This is men's basketball tournament, which started on Wednesday. We got to the did we talk about? Yeah, wait, no. I don't think we got to the... No, we didn't. Crap. I didn't talk about the first round matchups. Point Park and Frostburg State, the 10 seed in this versus this Point Park against 7 seed Frostburg State. I did not get to these games. So hang on, we got 4 more games to go through. We're going to try to get through them fast. Point Park and Frostburg State. In the first half, Point Park outscored Frostburg State 35-31. In the second half, Frostburg State outscored Point Park 40-39. Point Park wins its first Mountain East Conference tournament game in school history, winning 74-71 over the Bobcats. Point Park advances to face the 2 seed in Frostburg State, which we'll talk about 2 games from now. The top scorer for Point Park was Brendan Williams, who played all 40 minutes and was 9 of 14 from the floor, 2 of 6 from three-point range, 6 of 6 from the free throw line, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, and 3 steals for 26 points. Nathaniel Van, who recorded a double-double in 37 minutes, was 8 of 18 from the floor, 1 of 4 from three-point range, 3 of 5 from the free throw line, 10 rebounds, 2 assists for 20 points. And Nick Marshall played all 40 minutes as well, was 2 of 3 from the floor, 2 of 3 from three-point range, 4 of 6 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 2 assists for 10 points. In the first half, Point Park shot 51.9% from the floor, 30% from three-point range, 66.7% from the free throw line. In the second half, they shot 57.1% from the floor, 33.3% from three-point range, and 76.5% from the free throw line. Overall, the Pioneers of Point Park University shot 26 of 48 from the floor at 54.2%, 5 of 16 from three-point range at 31.3%, and 17 of 23 from the free throw line at 73.9%, with 1 technical foul being assessed to Nick Marshall. For Frostburg State, their top scorer was Trey Simmons, who came off the bench and played 25 minutes, going 7 of 15 from the floor, 5 of 10 from three-point range, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Recorded 1 block and 1 steal for 21 points. Jaden Baker recorded a double-double for the Bobcats in 36 minutes, going 6 of 13 from the floor, 2 of 4 from three-point range, 4 of 10 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 13 assists, and 1 steal for 18 points. In the first half, Frostburg State shot 37% from the floor, 47.4% from three-point range, 50% from the free throw line. In the second half, they shot 38.2% from the floor, 33.3% from three-point range, 53.3% from the free throw line. Overall, the Bobcats of Frostburg State shot 23 of 61 from the floor at 37.7%, 15 of 37 from three-point range at 40.5%, and 10 of 19 from the free throw line at 52.6%, with 1 technical foul being assessed to Kobe Baptiste. The 8:30 p.m. game from Wednesday was the 8-9 matchup, 9-seeded Wheeling against 8-seed Davidson Elkins. In the first half, Davidson Elkins outscored Wheeling 37-30. In the second half, Wheeling outscored Davidson Elkins 31-26. Davidson Elkins held on to win 63-61 over the Cardinals. Top scorer for Wheeling was Caleb Murray, who in 24 minutes off the bench was 4 of 10 from the floor, 3 of 8 from three-point range, and 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Recorded 2 steals for 15 points. Sean Ely, in his last game in his collegiate career in 40 minutes was 6 of 12 from the floor, 1 of 4 from three-point range, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals for 14 points. And T. Harris off the bench in 23 minutes was 5 of 8 from the floor, 2 of 3 from three-point range, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 1 steal for 12 points. In the first half, Wheeling shot 34.4% from the floor, 23.5% from three-point range, and 100% from the free throw line. In the second half, they shot 30% from the floor, 30% from three-point range, 71.4% from the free throw line. Overall, the Cardinals of Wheeling University shot 20 of 62 from the floor at 32.3%, 7 of 27 from three-point range, 25.9%, and 14 of 18 from the free throw line, 77.8%. For Davis and Elkins, their top scorer was Nicholas Silva, who in 31 minutes was 7 of 15 from the floor, 0 of 2 from three-point range, 2 of 4 from the free throw line, recording a double-double with 13 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks for 16 points. And Charleston Pons, who in 35 minutes was 4 of 13 from the floor, 2 of 4 from three-point range, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, and 2 steals for 11 points. In the first half, Davis and Elkins shot 40.5% from the floor, 44.4% from three-point range, and 50% from the free throw line. In the second half, they shot 24.1% from the floor, 16.7% from three-point range, and 57.9% from the free throw line. Overall, the Senators of Davis and Elkins shot 22 of 66 from the floor at 33.3%, 5 of 15 from three-point range at 33.3%, and 14 of 25 from the free throw line at 56%. With Davis and Elkins advancing to play the number 1 seed in the tournament in West Liberty, which should be tipping off in approximately 90 minutes from now. 90 to 120 minutes, we'll say. A tip-off is at 6. So the 2 games from today, earlier today, the first matchup and the 4 quarterfinal matchups from today. So the other 2 quarterfinals, the 2 semifinals, and the championship game for the Mountain East, we will discuss on Monday. And then the 2 semifinals games and the championship game of the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference will also be discussed on Monday, before finally concluding Monday's episode with the Atlantic Region rankings, the official ones that are coming out on Sunday night around 11 p.m. But we'll probably know about a good amount of them around 9 o'clock because they like to spoil the party, because why not? But I'm not going to do it until Monday. Anyways, the first matchup was the 2 seed Fairmont State taking on the 10 seed Point Park. In the first half, Fairmont State outscored Point Park 32-27. In the second half, Fairmont State outscored Point Park 36-28. Fairmont State advances to the second of 2 semifinal games tomorrow at 8:30 p.m., which they would await a winner of the next game we'll be talking about between Glenville State and Charleston. Fairmont State won this game 68-55 overall. The top scorer for Point Park was Aiden Anderson, who in 39 minutes was 5 of 11 from the floor, 1 of 5 from three-point range, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 3 assists for 13 points. Nazareth Fisher recorded a double-double in 39 minutes, going 5 of 6 from the floor, recorded 12 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 1 steal for 10 points. In the first half, Point Park shot 47.4% from the floor, 45.5% from three-point range, 66.7% from the free throw line. In the second half, they shot 45.5% from the floor, 40% from three-point range, and 57.1% from the free throw line. Overall, the Pioneers of Point Park University shot 19 of 41 from the floor at 46.3%, 9 of 21 from three-point range at 42.9%, and 8 of 13 from the free throw line at 61.5%. For Fairmont State, they had 2 scores with 12 points as their top 2 scores. David Yolinder, who in 33 minutes was 5 of 14 from the floor, 1 of 5 from three-point range, 1 of 4 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, and 1 steal for 12 points. Andre Harris in 27 minutes was 3 of 10 from the floor, 0 of 3 from three-point range, 6 of 6 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals for 12 points. Rudy Fitzgibbons III, which I remember him because he hit the buzzer beater against Slippery Rock earlier this season at SRU. That's how I remember him. In 20 minutes, he was 4 of 5 from the floor, 1 of 2 from three-point range, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 1 rebound, 3 assists for 10 points. In the first half, Fairmont State shot 41.4% from the floor, 33.3% from three-point range, 75% from the free throw line. In the second half, they shot 61.9% from the floor, 42.9% from three-point range, 63.6% from the free throw line. Overall, the Falcons of Fairmont State University shot 25 of 50 from the floor at 50%, 8 of 22 from three-point range at 36.4%, and 10 of 15 from the free throw line at 66.7%. And the second of four quarterfinal games that just ended moments ago was the 3-6 matchup, which was 6-seeded Glenville State taking on the 3-seed in the University of Charleston, with the winner of this game going on to play the 2-seed in Fairmont State tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. In the first half, Glenville State and Charleston, West Virginia both scored 28 points apiece. In the second half, Glenville State outscored Charleston, West Virginia 49-37. The Pioneers of Glenville State going on to face the 2-seed in Fairmont State tomorrow as they won 77-65 over the Golden Eagles of Charleston, which essentially puts Charleston now out of the playoff picture for the Atlantic region. The top scorer for Glenville State was Elijah Redfern, who in 31 minutes was 6 of 12 from the floor, 3 of 5 from three-point range, 6 of 6 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds for a total of 21 points. Seymour Kinsler in 23 minutes off the bench was 4 of 10 from the floor, 4 of 9 from three-point range, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds and 1 steal for 16 points. Amir Maxwell played all 40 minutes, going 6 of 12 from the floor and 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 block for 14 points. In the first half, Glenville State shot 25.7% from the floor, 18.8% from three-point range, and 87.5% from the free throw line. In the second half, they shot 55.6% from the floor, 50% from three-point range, 73.7% from the free throw line. Overall, the Pioneers of Glenville State shot 24 of 62 from the floor at 38.7%, 8 of 26 from three-point range at 30.8%, and 21 of 27 from the free throw line at 77.8%. For Charleston, West Virginia, their top scorer, who was the freshman of the year for the Mountain East Conference, in Ja'Cory Lipkins. In 37 minutes, he was 6 of 19 from the floor, 3 of 13 from three-point range, and 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds and 1 block for 19 points. And Dwayne Jones, who may have possibly played his last game for the University of Charleston, in 36 minutes, he was 5 of 16 from the floor and 0 of 4 from three-point range, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals for 10 points. Mind you, Dwayne Jones was the defending Mountain East Conference tournament MVP from last year's tournament when the Golden Eagles won. Unfortunately, there's a new champion this year. In the first half, Charleston shot 33.3% from the floor, 28.6% from three-point range, and 100% from the free throw line. In the second half, they shot 37.1% from the floor, 22.2% from three-point range, and 100% from the free throw line. Overall, the Golden Eagles of the University of Charleston, West Virginia, shot 24 of 68 from the floor at 35.3%, 8 of 32 from three-point range at 25%, and a perfect 9 of 9 from the free throw line at 100%. So the two remaining quarterfinal matchups occur at 6, which is about 80 minutes from now, give or take, is the 1-8 matchup between the top seed West Liberty Hilltoppers taking on the 8-seeded Davis and Elkis Senators. And then at 8:30, following the conclusion of that game, we have the 4-5 matchup, the 4th-seeded Concord Mountain Lions taking on the 5th seed West Virginia State Yellow Jackets. The winners of these two quarterfinal games will face each other tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern as the first of 2 semifinal games. And then again, the second semifinal game tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern will be the number 2 seed Fairmont State Falcons against the number 6 seed Glenville State Pioneers. And in the semifinals for tomorrow in the PSAC, hosted at the Butcher Athletic Center in Shepherdstown, West Virginia, is the 4 seed in the East, Millersville, taking on the 1 seed in the West in Gannon. And then at 3:30 is the 2 seed in the West, California, taking on the 3 seed in the East, and the host of this the semifinals and championship game in the Shepherd Rams. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of the PCBC. I will see you guys Monday to conclude the remaining 5 games, which were 2 quarterfinals, 2 semifinals, and the championship game for the Mountain East Conference. along with the 2 remaining semifinal games from the PSAC and PSAC championship game, which will be Sunday. And then, of course, I will officially announce the Atlantic region, 8 teams that have qualified for the 2025 Division II men's basketball tournament. Until then, I'm your host, the Honorable Judge Noah, reporting live from Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania, saying so long and have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you guys on Monday for episode 37.